If you want to change anything in your life, the first thing you have to do is wake up. This means observing your thoughts, actions, reactions, entropy, habits. Observe, not judge. Know that whatever you do now came about because of your ability to adapt to your external surroundings and the people in it. By observing who you are now, you take the first step on the long path of personal evolution. That's assuming you want to change. If you're here listening to this, I assume there are a few things you'd like to do differently. I'll share some ideas on what you can look at and suggest possible actions you can take. Don't get overwhelmed. Slow and steady wins the race. Look at one aspect of your life and make a choice to adjust something in it before moving on to something else. Remember, you can bookmark or save this video and come back to it. Rome, as they say, wasn't built in a day. I believe the beginning begins with finding time to be alone. Shut off the phone and other distractions. If possible, find a space where you will be uninterrupted. It could be as simple as going for a long walk and sitting in a cafe or on a park bench by yourself. Or you might go away to some calm place for a couple of days. Be aware this process should be repeated regularly. Checking in with yourself in a compassionate and non-judgmental manner is part of the path. You should always strive to be your own best guru, in that you listen to your worries, doubts, successes, and failures with a view of accepting what is. Nothing can be fixed without first assessing its condition now. If we allow ourselves to be who we are in the moment with this kind of kindness, it creates the foundation for developing self-awareness. Remember to always list the things you have done well as those things you wished you'd done differently. Be thankful you have the time and mental energy to focus on self-evolution in a busy world full of distractions and tension. The Stoics believed in living in accordance with nature and cultivating virtue as the highest good. They taught that many fears and anxieties arise from our desires and attachments to external things, which are ultimately beyond our control. Thus, they emphasized the importance of focusing on what is within our control, namely our thoughts, attitudes, and actions. Epictetus famously said, "Some things are within our control, and some things are not." Awareness involves recognizing and acknowledging our thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations related to fear and anxiety. This recognition might involve noticing when our thoughts spiral into worry about potential failures, when we are feeling anxious about uncertain outcomes, or when we are experiencing physical symptoms such as stress or rapid heartbeat. In order to grow awareness, mindfulness is key. This is paying attention to the present moment with openness, curiosity, and acceptance. By cultivating mindfulness, you can become more attuned to your thoughts, emotions, and bodily sensations, allowing you to recognize worries and anxieties as they arise and respond to them with greater clarity and compassion. To assist in growing awareness, incorporate moments of mindfulness into your daily routine by pausing and taking a few deep breaths whenever you feel stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed. Use these moments to check in with yourself and observe your thoughts and emotions without reacting impulsively. To help reduce stress, practice a body scan meditation where you systematically focus your attention on different parts of your body, noticing any sensations without judgment. Is your breathing normal? Are your shoulders relaxed? Do you need to get up and go for a walk? This can help you become more aware of how your emotions manifest physically and how they may influence your actions. Set aside time each day to journal about your thoughts, feelings, and experiences. Writing can help you gain clarity on your inner world and uncover patterns in your thinking and behavior. Reflect on situations where your thoughts influenced your actions or inactions, and consider how you might approach similar situations differently in the future. Ask yourself reflective questions such as, what was I thinking or feeling in that situation? How did my thoughts influence my behavior? What are the underlying beliefs or assumptions that prompted my actions? Approach your inner experience with curiosity and openness. Instead of judging or suppressing your thoughts and emotions, allow yourself to explore them with a sense of curiosity and interest. Adopting this mindset can help you become more aware of the subtle nuances of your inner world. If possible, engage in regular mindfulness meditation practice. Start with just a few minutes a day and gradually increase the duration as you become more comfortable. During meditation, focus on your breath or bodily sensations and observe your thoughts as they arise without judgment. This practice can help you become more attuned to your thought patterns and emotional responses. Be gentle with yourself as you cultivate awareness. Recognize that growing awareness is a journey, and it's okay to have moments of difficulty or resistance. Treat yourself with kindness and compassion, acknowledging that awareness takes time and practice. After these observations of where you are now, begin to have a vision of where you would like to be. For me, it was going from a shy person, afraid of interacting with the world, to becoming a teacher and a mentor to others. I had to grow to trust. I had something to share, and I had to recognize that my story, experiences, and methods would not appeal to every person. I grew to understand that if someone came to me for guidance, it was because something in what I presented to the world appealed to them, and that it was okay if it did not. There are many flavors of ice cream. People choose what appeals to them. It doesn't make the other flavors wrong. When I began to understand this, my fear of disappointing others began to have less power over me. So, we begin by giving ourselves the gift of quiet time with the intention of allowing ourselves to be in the moment, practicing serenity and mindfulness, and then working through journaling or a similar medium that makes sense to develop a vision of where we are and then where we would like to be. It's crucial for this away time just for you. So many of us give of ourselves to others, and sometimes this goes beyond kindness and compassion. Sometimes we have developed a manner of living that is guided by the external wishes and expectations of others. Hearing our own voice in the cacophony of sound that is the modern world can be very difficult, especially if we've developed the programming to seek out what others want. We fulfill others' expectations as a way of, hopefully, making sure we are liked. We developed this as a means of coping with life as we were taught somewhere along the line that our own feelings and thoughts were less valuable or didn't matter. Part of waking up, then, is listening for the voice within you. It may be very small, tentative, and unsure. This is where journaling can be very helpful. As you write your daily pages, over time, those things that are in the forefront of your consciousness begin to give way to those hiding beneath the surface. And perhaps you also begin to see the negativity that repeats itself in a never-ending feedback loop, keeping you stuck and ineffectual in your wish to change. As you work through this process of self-realization, reflect on your values, goals, and priorities in life. What truly matters to you? What might bring you a sense of meaning and fulfillment? What is important to you? What activities or relationships energize and fulfill you, and which ones drain you? Clarifying your own priorities can help you determine where to set boundaries. As your vision of who you want to be begins to actualize, you may find you need to guard yourself. Begin by setting boundaries in low-stakes situations or with people you feel relatively comfortable with. Practice saying no to small requests or activities that don't align with your priorities or well-being, and gradually work your way up to more significant boundaries. Assertiveness involves expressing your needs, preferences, and boundaries in a clear, respectful, and confident manner. Practice assertive communication techniques, such as using I statements, maintaining eye contact, and speaking with a firm but respectful tone. Remember that you have the right to assert your boundaries and prioritize your own well-being. Pay attention to your gut feelings and intuition when interacting with individuals who may be attempting to manipulate you. If something doesn't feel right, or if you sense that someone is trying to pressure or manipulate you, trust yourself and prioritize your own well-being. Educate yourself about common manipulation tactics, such as guilt-tripping, gaslighting, or using flattery to gain compliance. By being aware of these tactics, you can better recognize when they're being used and respond accordingly. Clearly communicate your boundaries and limits to the individual in question. Be specific about what you are and are not willing to do, and be consistent in enforcing your boundaries. Avoid getting drawn into arguments or debates about your boundaries. Instead, calmly reiterate your position and stick to it. For example, I need time to consider all options and make the best choice for myself. I'd appreciate it if you could give me some space to think things through before giving my response. For example, I have to make sure I don't become overwhelmed by taking on too many commitments, so I'm going to have to decline. Thanks so much for thinking of me. I really appreciate it. If someone continues to disregard your boundaries or engage in manipulative behavior despite your efforts to assert yourself, it may be necessary to limit or cut off contact with that person. Remember that prioritizing your own well-being is not selfish, and it's okay to distance yourself from toxic or manipulative individuals. Remember that setting boundaries and saying no is a skill that takes practice and courage to develop. Be patient with yourself and know that it's okay to seek support and guidance as you navigate these challenging situations. Remember, too, that you cannot expect anyone else to change. Try to remove blame and anger from your process. They, too, are caught in their own matrix of past programming and habitual behaviors. Your job is to change you, not them. If you need to remove yourself from their sphere of influence in order to be healthy, and this is an achievable goal, then it's something you can consider going forward. I found Dr. Wayne Dyer's early books to be very helpful in guiding me to understand the behaviors I manifested in family situations with someone who was very manipulative. Slowly, I began to be able to change my response to that person, and in doing so, over time, they changed a little too. By changing me without any expectation that they would change at all, the habitual clashes between us began to have less impact on us both. As you walk this path, surround yourself with supportive individuals who respect and honor your journey. Share your thoughts and feelings with trusted friends. You might also consider working with a therapist who can offer guidance and validation as you navigate your own path. Trust yourself to know what works best for you, and know this too may change over time. I find it useful to have an accountability partner. We meet once a week to chat about what we accomplished or what we need to work on. It helps us to set intentions for the week to come. We inspire each other and we celebrate the small wins we each have. Waking up is a process that has to take place over time. It's actually a slowly growing awareness of who you are now, and then walking a deliberate path towards becoming more like the person you'd like to be. Daily practice of journaling, finding time and space for reflection, and adjusting your reactions to others are all part of this. Remove judgment from your journey. Observe yourself with kindness and even humor as you work through the challenges you've set for yourself. As Gene Roddenberry said, it is the struggle itself that is most important. We must strive to be more than we are. It does not matter that we will not reach our ultimate goal. The effort itself yields its own reward.